So this is the evaluation section of my monologue videos. As you can see here, my thinking so far has kind of been linear, few going back the way, and just the final few from realization back to investigation and research, just some small aspects I had to go back on, and then finally, realize it in the final product and the evaluation. So as given to me in feedback, I hadn't physically written down or in these monologue slides the evaluation section. My evaluation up to date was through the weekly feedback, I guess. I was talking about the evaluation more so than actually writing it down. So first off, I'm just going to go back where I looked through my videos and actually jotted down the key points of my evaluation that I've been doing. So here is my first mind map, and just the initial thoughts, ideas, and investigation were quite staggered. No set design or brief to date. Initial design have some flaws and need work and development. The research is giving me direction to finding a social and economical issue to work on. So there's my first evaluation of my first section. I fixed my, you can see at the top now I have headings for pretty much every slide, giving signposts as was requested to give a structure to everything. And again here, my second evaluation, the mood board, I found to be very helpful in adding personal aspects and ideas to design and research process. The mood board allowed me to see that the issue I need to focus on more are closer to home. I found a material to work with and I've begun investigating. So there is that, I broke down my own brief here, which I hadn't done before. So a little bit, well, I had done, I guess, in my own head, but not actually physically brought it down. So here's a breakdown of my brief, and some other small, just another evaluation. The research and investigation has proven helpful. It has opened my eyes to creatures that lived in the driftwood for quite some time. I feel my driftwood has provided some issues it could provide some issues while processing. With feedback from peers, I have further developed my designs. I have begun work on size and shapes and providing more work that I initially thought. So these are evaluations that I had done in my weekly monologues, but here they are actually realized on paper or on the slides. Here's one of the last ones. The joins and processing plan I had begun scrapped because of the virus outbreak. I had to adjust all my plans to fit into the time frame. I had to analyze all my plan process and find a suitable substitute that would fit within the new time frame. I've begun to work out the finer details in the project, looking at measurement skills and problem solving. Further processing produced some great hardwood and the solution to the problem. So once you go through the slides, that kind of all reflects on that. One of my last ones here, the processing and putting together of the artifact produced some issues that were easily overcome and some that I couldn't fix. So the issue that I couldn't fix was the grid. That was just not possible here at home to put that together, so I just left it blank. The putting together the artifact was enjoyable to see it all coming together. The wood burning and heartwood lids there were personal aspects that I feel came out very well. From the assembly of the artifact, I have seen with a bit of research and creativity, almost all issues that is thrown at you can be solved with some hard work applied. That's down below. The issues that I came to, I overcome when I just put my mind to it. And research and glues finishes provide very beneficial for my future project work. So the research that I've done shown here, and I feel these would come in very handy in future work. I analyzed both the Gorilla Glue and Titebond 3, and I came out that Titebond 3 would be the most effective for my project. I then went into detailed research, Danish oil, yacht varnish, and eco epoxy, and broke them down and came out with a final solution that the eco epoxy is the most environmentally friendly and suitable for a external finish for a long-term solution, whereas yacht varnish needs continuous applying, plus it releases quite a lot of volatile organic compounds. So these aren't good for the environment basically. So once you have to use several coats to really seal it in, you're releasing a lot of these toxins into the air and into the if you drip any on the ground as well. So and then Danish oil just wasn't 100% for outdoor use, just and again a little bit toxic. So the ecopoxy, which I did some research on above there, shows that it really can reduce the carbon footprint and that these products are out there when you really just look for them. So that is a nice bit of information that I'll be able to further develop on in the future. Down here, where am I now? My final evaluation. So the glue I selected is most suitable for the outdoor climate that the cigarette bin will be exposed to. Water resistance of the glue is a key factor. So that's just a perfect selection for it. The finish is selected the epoxy. I currently don't have, not feasible for me to put it on now here at the home environment. It's the most environmentally friendly. I had selected it finishes clear with and it'll show off the character of the wood. So the nice holes you can see there, the wood burning and the lovely heartwood against the white pine would be a perfect finish. The wood burning graphite on the face I feel will be very effective. I actually asked some smokers around me what they thought of it, and they did like actually show off that it was a cigarette bin, and they actually agreed with me, so that was a nice bit of feedback there. The steam bent brackets I was going to produce, just not able to do it here at home, but I feel it would have been a really nice feature to the bin, a nice rounded brackets to attach it to the wall, and these wouldn't rust unlike upcycling, let's say steel brackets, and these would, if treated well, they would last quite a long time out the outdoors there on the beach. My evaluation of my joint selection I feel was most effective in the situation that arose. The dowel joint is both strong and durable and produces the least amount of waste. Upon looking back, now I see that the dowels should have been staggered, so instead of directly across from each other, this would have proven a little bit more strength, but I feel with the glue and the dowels and everything put together, it's not going to be under a huge amount of strain, so it still works out. The insert stainless steel opening and the grid would have completed the cigarette bin. It would have finished it off properly instead of looking kind of like the enclosed bin it is now. But there's nothing I could have done about that. But it would have been a nice feature. The lid of the cigarette bin shows off the section of the heartwood I found inside the second piece of driftwood. I like that a lot. It really shows off the grain and the nice contrasting colors that can be found in driftwood, and once you give it a chance, what is actually there. And I feel it's a nice feature to the bin. It's reusing all the waste. I know instead of throwing that away, it was kept. By chance, it worked out to fit as the lid. The towel clips I feel would have been effective method of closing the bin. These two on either side would have held the top bottom closed securely. I didn't manage to get around to getting a set of those. And the driftwood I started with proved to be challenging to work with, but the final product that I've produced I feel has added huge value to the material. Most people would have seen it as waste, but I feel now that it's processed and put into the effective use, it really has added to the value of the material. The aesthetic values the driftwood have added to the cigarette bin are nothing I could have imagined. The shipworm holes, the heartwood that I've exposed, the nice contrast. I wasn't expecting any of this when I started off, so it's a nice to finish up with these. I'm pleased with the fit of the bin. It's really snug in there. It's not loose, and then this will prevent any misalignment as well. So that's great. I'm happy with the way the joints fit together. They're nice, close, compressed joints, no gaps, and they worked out really well. It's almost bang on square. I presented the cigarette bin to several smokers and asked them about the accessibility of the bin and explained them the final design, so where the grid would have fit in. From the feedback I got with the smokers in the bin, it would have effectively and aesthetically it would have been effective and it is aesthetically pleasing. solution to cigarette butt problem in Cromarty Beach. So local smokers agreed with me that it would actually work out. So here are some photos of the final product there and there. And I did a rough kind of photo crop there where they would have actually been situated on Cromarty Beach. Hopefully one day it will actually serve its purpose back there. Thanks.